Imagine a man who could slip through police hands, survive impossible odds, and strike fear into the hearts of the most dangerous criminals. In film, we see characters like John Wick, unstoppable, precise, and surrounded by myth. But what if such a man truly existed? In the wild world of 1990s Russia, he did. His name was Alexander Solonik, and his legend still haunts the criminal underworld. Solonik was not just a myth. He was a real person, cold, clever, and skilled beyond belief. Police called him the Angel of Death. Gangsters whispered his name in fear. His life reads like a movie script, but every twist and escape was deadly real. In Russia's violent mafia wars, Solonik became the most feared contract killer, known for his unpredictability and ruthlessness. His story is one of transformation. He was not always a killer. Alexander grew up with dreams, family, and a sense of belonging. Yet, betrayal, violence, and the chaos of post-Soviet Russia shaped him into the ultimate assassin. Was he born evil, or did the world create him? This is the untold story of Russia's real John Wick, a man whose legend may never die. Alexander Solonik was born in 1960 in Kurgan, a quiet city in the Russian Soviet Union. His family was ordinary, and his early life did not hint at anything unusual. He was a curious child, sometimes shy, but also strong-willed. Alexander loved reading detective novels and learning about police work. He admired heroes who stood for justice. His family hoped he would live a simple, honest life. He did well in school and enjoyed sports. His father worked as a mechanic, and his mother cared for the home. They taught him to be tough but kind, but life in the Soviet Union was hard. Challenges forged strength in him, and he learned to fight for what he wanted. When he was old enough, Alexander joined the army. He did not choose a quiet job. He wanted action. He trained hard, became skilled with weapons, and impressed his commanders. In the military, he learned discipline and precision. These skills would later make him a deadly force. But even as a young man, Alexander had a rebellious streak. He questioned orders. He had his own ideas about right and wrong. This would soon put him on a dangerous path. After his military service, Solonik decided to become a police officer. For a while, it seemed he would be a hero, just like in the stories he loved. He joined the force, eager to keep the streets safe. He was brave and clever, often catching criminals others could not. But the police in Russia were not always what they seemed. Corruption was everywhere. Solonik did not like what he saw. He argued with his superiors. He refused to take part in illegal deals. Soon, his honesty made him unpopular. He was seen as a troublemaker, not a team player. His career did not last long. After several conflicts with his bosses, Solonik was dismissed. He felt betrayed. The world he thought was good and fair had turned against him. His dream of being a hero was lost. He was now an outcast, angry and alone. This was a turning point. Solonik was no longer part of the system. He had learned how authority worked and how it could be twisted. He would use this knowledge, but not for good. After leaving the police, Solonik's life, well, it really took a turn for the worse. He was accused of a crime he did not commit, sexual assault. He claimed he was innocent, but the system just did not listen. He was sent to prison, a place absolutely full of violence and fear. It was here that Solonik's true transformation began. Prison was a brutal world. Gangs ruled the cells. Weakness meant death. Solonik quickly learned to defend himself. He became both respected and feared, standing up to the worst inmates. He studied people, watched every move, and never let his guard down. But Solonik was not just a survivor, he was a mastermind. He planned a daring escape. Using sheets, cunning, and perfect timing, he broke out of the high-security prison. His first escape made him famous, but honestly, it was only the beginning. Each time he was caught, he found a new way out. His methods were bold, sometimes even unbelievable. By the time he escaped again, the police and prison guards knew his name. They called him the Houdini of Russia. For Solonik, every escape was a lesson, every capture a challenge to outsmart the system. Solonik's escapes made him a legend in the criminal underworld. Gangsters saw his courage and skill. Soon, mafia bosses began to recruit him. They needed someone who could kill without mercy or fear, someone who could not be stopped. Solonik was perfect for the job. His first contract killing was brutal and swift. He walked up to a target in broad daylight and shot him without hesitation. Word spread quickly. Solonik had a cold, steady hand. He was never nervous. He never missed. He became known as the Angel of Death. People said he could shoot with both hands at once, a rare and deadly skill. His methods were unpredictable. Sometimes he wore disguises, sometimes he attacked in crowded places. He always escaped. No one knew when he would strike next. Police and criminals alike started to believe he was untouchable. With each hit, Solonik's reputation grew. The mafia paid him huge sums. Rivals lived in terror. But with every job, the line between hunter and hunted grew thinner. The Russian police wanted Solonik stopped. He was just too dangerous, and his killings were way too public. They launched a massive manhunt, using hundreds of officers. There were raids, informants, and secret traps. But Solonik was always a step ahead. One day, the police got a lucky break. They spotted his car on a busy street. A dramatic chase followed. Solonik drove at breakneck speed, weaving through traffic, bullets flying. In the end, police caught him, but only after a fierce fight. They locked him in a special prison, thinking he could never escape again. Yet Solonik's legend only grew. He spent months plotting his next move. Using tricks no one expected, he escaped once more. This time, he vanished from Russia. The world wondered where he had gone. Some said he was a ghost. He resurfaced in Greece, living in luxury and surrounded by bodyguards. Even in exile, he was feared by all. But danger followed him everywhere, and he knew his enemies were never far behind. In 1997, Alexander Solonik's story ended as mysteriously as it began. He was found dead in Greece, his body discovered in a quiet villa. Some say the mafia killed him. Others believe the police finally caught up. There are even rumors he escaped once more and lived under a new name. The truth remains hidden. Solonik's life leaves us with questions. Was he born a killer, or did betrayal and violence turn him into a monster? Did the corrupt system create the very evil it tried to destroy? He was a victim, a rebel, and a hunter, all in one. His legend survives in whispers and stories. To some, he is a symbol of how far a man can fall when the world turns against him. To others, he is simply the Angel of Death, a warning that even the most dangerous can be outmatched, but never truly forgotten. The real John Wick may have lived and died in Russia, but the mystery of Alexander Solonik endures, haunting both the law and the lawless. His story is a dark mirror, reflecting the chaos and violence from which he came.